You're such an asshole.
All right. Oh, I'm way off. Hang on. Let's get that up a little bit. I'm sorry about that, guys. Am I more centered? This is high level production values here. All right. So Drew Bay, if you haven't followed him on Twitter, he didn't know this. And I was like, oh, if Drew didn't know this, then I better make a video about it because well, he's kind of in the business. All right. So let's lay down the economic background. I'll explain to you what's going on. All right. The number one commodity in the world is the hoo-ha. It's not gold, it's not silver, it's not oil. It is the hoo-ha. And the reason it's number one commodity, I'm not even being facetious or funny about the reason it's the number one commodity in the world, most valuable commodity in the world, I should say, is because half the population so desperately wants it. Further reinforcing that value is the half of the population that so desperately wants it generally produces 75% of the real world's GDP, or the world's real GDP. I don't mean adjusted for inflation. I mean like roads, electricity, smartphones, paper, construction, housing, whatever you want to call it. Men are the ones who not social justice degrees or HR departments. All right. And because that half of the population produces all the things that really matter and have real value in society, they're the ones that typically have the most money. What do they want? They want the hoo-ha. All right. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. That's how this economy has worked. That's how the sexes have worked. I'm not going to argue it. This is just how it works. And normally how you would get this precious commodity is you would work hard. You would do something amazing, prove yourself stable, blah, 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 blah. But times have changed. And the reason times have changed is because that commodity was somehow beholden to the other half of the population. They needed that other half of the population to survive. And they would give forth the hoo-ha if you provided them with security, safety, and resources and protection. Now, because of technology, because of governments and welfare states, because now also the elimination of, I think, what were somewhat unfair traditional roles that, oh, you're that group of people, you better stay in the kitchen. I would say that's unfair. That's not individualism. The other half don't need you. And they're only going to take you unless you're in the top percentages of your culture. But this doesn't change the fact that it's still the number one commodity or undo 2 million years of human evolution. This is how the red pill was formed. Because in my generation before the internet, we had to learn this all analog. It was like doing Newtonian physics with an abacus, but we figured it out anyway. And we said, hey, did you notice this? Did you notice that? We started rediscovering this lost wisdom. Some wrote books, some do classes, and things like that. Now, quite literally, in about the past year and a half, I don't even know if it goes back 2 years, all of a sudden, a ton of these masculine, there's a key word, masculine this, masculine that, gorilla that. I remember one idiot saying something about gorillas, and everybody just lined up. Something about a condition of mind. And it's usually on Twitter. And it's, you look at it and they're like, red pill this or masculine that, and they have the secrets. They know. Never mind, for 20 years this has been going on. You could read through form. There's plenty of books out there by people you know. You recognize their face. May not be pretty faces, but their faces you know, who kind of went through the basics. Kind of wrote some founding books. But then some schmuck. You gave your cold schmuck, you don't know who it is. Because there's an avatar there. You never see the face. It's not a person. They got 50, 60, 70, maybe even 100,000 Twitter followers. And the thing is, like, who is this guy? Who is it? Who is this guy? Could be a gal for you know, because there's an avatar of a gorilla or a masculine man or, hang on, I'm losing my voice here. One of my favorites is the Roman sculpture, the Greek philosopher sculpture, or a painting of a Spartan warrior. What's your name? Little girl, what's your name? And the reason you don't see their faces is because they're nobodies. And these are the red pill posers. So in addition to having an impressive Twitter subscribership they bought for Pakistan for $1,000 or whatever, they promise you how to get that commodity. And it's kind of like the Vincent Vega meme, like, what? We got all the books right. What? And invariably, there's always a link to some kind of site. You go to the site, and the site is some piss-poor program site. Now, I got a piss-poor program site, but I program my piss-poor program site. You go to assholeconsulting.com, you're like, wow, this is a crappy site, Cap. You're like, yep, shows you I've been working on some that isn't web development. That's not my background. But it's authentic. You go to their sites, and it's how to get girls, how to get laid, how to get bulk, get ripped, well, that's what Drew was saying. He's like, there's a bunch of nobodies I never heard of who just showed up in the past 6 months who have all these followers. They don't have those unreal. They paid for it out of Pakistan. And Drew's talking about the workout people. So maybe this is happening in other realms, but at least in the red pill community here, you got these nobodies coming in. I'm okay if you come in and you're a nobody, but who are you? I understand if you want to keep yourself a little bit anonymous, contribute something new. There's no credentials. There's nobody. There's no history. There's nobody. Like, well, who is it? But you got they got a class. How to give up porn. How to look smack. Whatever it is. Still know who this person is. And people are like, who are these people? They're posers. And it's just the classic old selling. Well, how do you make money during a gold boom? You sell gold panning equipment or gold mining equipment. That's what you do it. And this isn't even to say that if you were to take these classes, you wouldn't get the basics. I would presume it would not be wrong. But you're like, well, who is that? Is it? But I'm a little bit scared. Like, okay, is it going to be legit? Did they just read the Rational Mail, regurgitate the talking points there? Or maybe for $12, you go get the talking points from Rollo Tomasi's book. You go pick it up yourself. And I can't even claim to be the one to identify this. This is Ryan Stone. Ryan Stone, a real person with a real face, with a real book. The Fook Files, Fucc. He started pointing this out where everyone's now, you're a grifter. You're a grifter. No, wait a minute. No, I'm legit. Okay. The no-names who just decided they're 23 years old. They failed with their business management degree or their kinesiology degree or sports management. They took a couple red pills and they're going to make a class, yo. It's going to be dope. They're going to be internet influencers. And then they go and they set up this racket. And they're like, who are these people? Should I drop mine? It's like, look, and I'm not saying you're even going to be wrong. I'm not saying you got to be a known, like, for example, TFM. You don't know who his face is. Nobody knows who he is. Sandman, no one knows who he is. But they've been around. They have a canon of work. They have a legacy. Oh, here's another thing. They have jobs. They weren't 24-year-olds that decided to set up a website and, oh, bro, what's up? And you don't even see them saying, bro, what's up? Because there's no face. And that's what they're doing. They could very well be living in their mother's basement. It could be a girl. It could be Rahib over in Bangalore running this. These are real. These are legit. But there's no such thing as legit because there's no accrediting agency. So I guess it's all fair game. But to answer the confusion for my real peers, like Drew Bay, look him up. He's a real guy. You look at him like, yeah, he actually does lift weights. He's big and he's jacked. He walks the walk. Wouldn't you like to know it if the guy that you're taking advice from walked the walk, had a little bit of real world experience? Was it some theoretician behind an avatar? So I came up with a list. How you could tell if it's a red pill poser. Okay. So I mentioned some of these. Let's go through them. All right. First, there is no picture or name. Masculine energy, and there's a guy with a beard and carrying a spear. You know who already got that covered? It's called Jack Donovan. Real guy. You can look him up. He's real. He's masculine. Wrote a book. Oh, that'd be another one I'll add to this. If you go to their site and they offer books, it's going to be some pamphlet. All right. Now, I've written some thin books, but they usually at least break 200 pages. I have an essay, which I call an essay. Right? But I don't write no flimsy little books with really crappy graphic editing on the cover. I write moderate to medium size, sometimes long books with really crappy covers, really crappy graphics. Unless Roll draws it from me, then it's good. All right, so that's the other thing. Goes to their site. So you don't know the name. There's no picture. It's a picture of a gorilla or something. There's the link. All right, you click on the link. It goes to classes, and the classes or the books are this thin. So that's right. The avatar itself or the website is filled with some kind of animal. Could be a lion. Could be a gorilla. Those are the two favorite ones people presume. But some kind of masculine animal. Maybe an eagle. I haven't seen eagles yet, but I do see a lot of gorillas and lions. There's a lame ass site. Beards, lots of beards. Beards, masculine beards. I don't know why you all have to have the beards. I mean, I got a 5 o'clock shadow. Drew Bay got a beard. Rurb got a beard. Those legit. They had beards before it was like this lame ass sign of masculinity. They just were masculine. That's all. I decide I'm going to grow a beard. It fits my style. I ain't got no hair up top. Then also no job or background. In the before time, Cappy was in finance. In the before time, Rolo was marketing and booze. In the before time, Rhinestone was a sailor. In the before time, I'm trying to think who else is out there. Oh, TFM. He's doing something. I don't know what. I want to say it's something in finance and economics. I don't know what. In the before time, Terrence Popp was a killer. He was a professional soldier. In the before time, Adam Piggott was a whitewater rafting guide. Now, I won't say where he works, but he works a real job. All these guys worked some kind of real job and supported themselves. This wasn't their shtick. They didn't wake up. Donovan Sharp, we pick on Donovan a lot, but he was a hustler. He was selling mattresses, just getting by. The people you see here fell into this. They didn't set it up and design and that's the difference between a grifter and somebody who's like, look, here's the 3 decades of hell I went through and the very important lessons I learned from it. Conveniently packaged into this one consumable thing, be that a class or a book or maybe a topic specific video. But here it is. And usually it's original of some kind. Roll's latest book, it was Pick Up a Game, but it was the one before that was Religion. That hadn't been written before. My book coming out, The Menu, Life Without the Opposite Sex. It's been touched here and there by many different people, but I'm consolidating an existential purpose and reason to live outside the opposite sex. No one's done that before. Even my asshole consulting. Hey, I'm going to tell you the truth and yell at you coming up on 8 years. 2 weeks, will be 8 years old. Isn't that awesome? 8 years ago, you could tell the truth. Actually, you could tell the truth a little bit and YouTube wouldn't slash you down. But no one else came out. Someone did get consultantasshole.com. I'm the grifter and he's not. Okay. All right. But just for God's sake, guys, there is a lot of element to truth that you can pick up a lot of these things for free. And I did a video about this before. I wrote an article. The reason some people can, well, you could get that on the internet for free. It's like, yeah, but you're gonna have to spend I give an example. If you want to learn about the what's it called? What's Molly up to? What the thing? The non-aggression principle. He's probably the foremost expert in it. You'd have to listen to a good 40 hours of Molyneux, where there's only going to be maybe an hour talked about the non-aggression principle. Right? And you could whittle that away. Like you could just search the non-aggression principle, spend some time reading it and all that, consuming several videos on that. Sure, you could do that. Well, that's 2 to 3 hours, isn't it? Well, how about a book for $12.95? Depends how busy you are. What if it's an audiobook? It talks about that specific subject. So that's why I'm like, okay, that's why you're going to charge. But look, if you want to get this stuff for free, you can search Rollo Tomasi's channel, my channel, Rich Cooper's channel, all these people's channel, just the internet in general. What is the wall? You get it for free. How do I get the girls? I don't know how many videos I got that you could just search for that and you'll get it. But I think we all got it. But if you have the time to search, you want to go get Unplugged Alpha by Rich Cooper. Read the last chapter. Go get the Book of Numbers, which I wrote. Yes, plug, shame, grifting. And read the last chapter. We go through it. Mine's a little bit more mathematical. And by the way, if you do buy my book and you review it, I don't care what star rating you give it. Just say a little bit better than Rich Cooper's. That's all I ask. Even if you give him a 5-star and give me a 1-star, just say a little bit better than Rich Cooper's. So you could get it for free. But if you want the new stuff, not to mention, I don't know if you notice there's somewhat of an arms race going on between the most sought after commodity in the world, the most expendable commodity in the world. There's an arms race. It's constantly changing. You got to stay on top. If you want the new stuff, here you go. Aaron, how'd you come up with the idea of the menu? Because I kept having to answer these depressing questions. What do I do in a life without girls? And some girls, I can't find a man. What do I do in a life without guys? Well, here's the answer. I don't see anyone else coming up with that idea. Worthless. That book is, God, what is that book? 11 years old? Do you think maybe being ahead of the curve there would have mattered? Hey, don't major in stupid crap. 2011, would that have saved any of you people? So I'm not saying you can't read the classics, learn some basic rules. Absolutely. But by God, if you want some kind of expert, I understand you may not want your face shown. I got that. But I want to see a canon of work. I want to see an established reputation, even if it's bad. Look at Modern Life John. A face like that, you can't treat. There's some ugly must have happened to him, but at least he's there. At least he's got his face. Actually, does have pretty good presentation. I pick on John. Modern Life Dating, check him out. But come on, guys, 2022. Somebody just popped up on the internet with 70,000 subscribers on the Twitter. Like, who the hell is this guy? You search and you click, you can't find a name, you can't find a face. Goes to some generic shit site like, hey, click on this, man. Look, I'll tell you how to get the poo. That's what I say. But yeah, there you go. And you can spot them now. I gave you the list. Avatar. Some stupid monkey, lion, Greek god, Spartan. Oh, not Dirk Diggler. That was the Boogie Nights. Who is Brad Pitt's character in Fight Club? Who is whoever, whenever you see that character, no. I'm trying to think of other. No. That's the Avatar. You don't want that. No Name. The link immediately goes to some class course, Gumroad. And I'm not against Gumroad courses. I'm not against you guys offering your expertise. But that means your expertise, you lived it, you did it. You didn't just read it out of Rollo Tomasi's book and regurgitate it. What else? Oh, I got my list here. Lame site. Beards. Lots of beards. No job, no background. But you wouldn't know that because you won't know their name. That's it. There you go. Glad I saved you. Let's go through the super chats. Let's go through the super chats and have ourselves a treat. Maxi Mike for $2. If he's below 5'10", Trey would say, no, girls up for you. Yes. If you're below 5'10", don't bother with the girls. Oh, poor Damien. Get out of there, man. Get out of Minneapolis, Damien. Just get out. Don't waste your life like I did. See, real world experience. Should set up a teachable class. How to escape Minneapolis. Get the next bus out and leave. Hat and clogs for $2. Cappy, the Ultra Alpha King Lion. Wolf! Oh, I forgot wolves. How could I forget wolves? The Alpha Wolf. Oh, get your pack together. And now, I only say it to pick on him, but Thor and Missy, look up their GoFundMe. Thor and Missy, they need some medical help. So if you could please send them a couple bucks, they'd appreciate it. Guys who wear leather bands like Hercules. Kevin Sabo, or not? No, what am I thinking? Kevin Sabo was it Kevin Sabo? Hercules? Wasn't that the same? They have very similar last name. You need leather wristbands. There you go. That's masculine. Thor's gonna kick my ass. Spartan helmets. Thank you. Yes, Spartan helmets. Yes. Anything Spartan. Billy Bob, $7 Canadian. We're about 3 Anthony Dream Johnsons away from a masculinity coach with an avatar of a silverback gorilla with a beard, drinking a Miller Lite. No, they drink a homebrew stout, some local microbrew. I'm just surprised people didn't get it. They couldn't spot it. Like, you didn't see the face? The lack of the face? Are you not seeing enough monkey silhouettes? Athabel Decuo, $5. Sometimes I have a hard time believing established gurus, let alone a random Indian guy with the username Masculine Sage on Twitter. Use your brain. Right. Scrolling. Keep like Adam would have way more legit authenticity to do a channel because of how the hell he's been gone through, majoring chemical engineering, working 2 jobs at the same time. He has seen he's actually sampled much of the commodity you'll seek. Mexican Mike, $2. A wise, angry old man once told me, just pay for it. It would be so much easier. And you do pay for it anyway. I don't have to go through that again. DJ Aftershock. Hey, he's back. $5. Dude, bro, you're wearing your headphones on the wrong side. It's supposed to be reversed. If you want to fix it, you can take my advanced course to get to girls. Oh. Tyler Durden, thank you. Boom. Done. All right. There you go. See you guys later, Toodles.